In this video, we're going to find the sum difference product quotient of two functions from 1.1. Let's go ahead and get started. The function f of x is given to us as 3x plus 2, and the function g of x is given to us as 5x minus 1. We want to find f plus g of x, which is the same as f of x plus g of x. So let's add our like terms. 3x plus 5x is 8x. 2 minus 1 is 1, and we get the equation 8x plus 1. The domain of this is all real numbers. If we want f minus g, 3x minus 5x, 3 minus 5 is a negative 2. And then 2 minus a negative 1, that's going to be a positive 3. And again, the domain of that is going to be all real numbers. When we multiply f of x times g of x, we have 3x plus 2 times 5x minus 1. We're going to need to FOIL. That's going to give us 15x squared minus 3x plus 10x minus 2 is 15x squared plus 7x minus 2. So 15x squared plus 7x minus 2. Just to let you know, it might actually be to our advantage to look at this in factored form when we try to evaluate it later. So I'm going to try and leave that up there. This is f times g of x. F divided by g of x is going to be f of x divided by g of x. And there's nothing that I can really do to simplify that. Now the domain there is going to be restricted because I have a denominator now that's not allowed to be 0. So if I think about 5x minus 1 being equal to 0, 5x equals 1, x is 1/5. So the domain is restricted, so the x is not 1/5 when I have f over g. If I want f plus g of 2, let's stick 2 into f plus g. 16 plus 1 is going to be 17. F minus g of 4, I'll stick that in there. Negative 8 plus 3 is negative 5. Let's stick 3 in to f times g. And I've got 11 times 14 is 140 plus 14 is 154. And stick 1 into the quotient here, 5 over 4. All right. Let's look at this next problem. F of x is equal to x minus 4, and g of x is equal to 4x squared. So this is 4x squared plus x minus 4, and the domain is all real numbers. F minus g is going to be negative 4x squared plus x minus 4, and its domain is all real numbers. F times g is going to be 4x cubed minus 16x squared, and its domain will be all real numbers. And f over g is going to be x minus 4 over 4x squared, and its domain will be restricted. The x is not allowed to be equal to 0. Now let's stick some values in there. F plus g of 4 is going to be 64. F minus g of 2, negative 18. F times g of 3 is negative 36. And f divided by g of 1 is negative 3/4. Now I know I'm doing that in my head. You're going to want to do that on paper. Let me show you what I did. So this is the same thing as f of 4 plus g of 4 which was equal to 0 plus 4 times 4 squared. Well, that didn't do anything. 4 cubed is 64. And then f of 2 minus g of 2 is equal to -2 plus 4 times 4 is 16. And that's negative, plus a -16 minus 16, that's a -18. Here we go. And then f of 3 times g of 3 is equal to f of 3 was -1. G of 3 was 36. That's how I got -36. And f of 1, come up here. That's f of 1 divided by g of 1 was going to be -3 divided by 4. And that's -3/4. All right. Let's look at number 3 here. When we add these together, this is just root 5x plus 7x minus 3. That's going to be kind of ugly to evaluate. Its domain needs to be restricted. The x needs to be greater than or equal to 0 because of that square root. And f minus g is going to be root 5x minus 7x plus 3. And it's also going to be restricted to be x greater than or equal to 0. F times g is going to be 7x times root 5x minus 3 times root 5x. And it's also going to be restricted that x needs to be greater than or equal to 0. And then we have root 5x over 7x minus 3, and that root 5x and that is going to restrict the domain as well as that denominator. So x is going to have to be, let's write this here. Domain is going to be restricted x greater than or equal to 0, comma, x not equal to 3/7. That 3/7 comes from 7x minus 3 not equal to 0, 7x not equal to 3, x not equal to 3/7. Now when I stick 7 in for f and g and add, root 35 plus 49 minus 3 is going to be root 35 plus 46. F minus g is going to be root 35 minus 49. Sorry, minus, this is 2, so minus 14 plus 3. That's root 35 minus 11. And this is not 35, this was 2 going in there. So 5 times 2 is 10. Root 10 minus 11. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 7 is 14. 14 minus 3 is 11. Root 5 or root 10 minus 11. Now, f of 5 times g of 5. F of 5 is going to be root 25, which is 5, times g of 5 is 35 minus 3 is 32. So that's 160. And f of 125 divided by g of 125. So 5 times 125, let's just write this. 5 times 125 over 7 times 125 minus 3 is going to be, so this is going to be 625 here, which is a perfect square. That's going to be 25 in the numerator. 125 times 7. So that's 35, 14, 17. 875 minus 3 is 872. That's 25 over 872. All right, that's it for this video. And we'll come back next time and we'll start talking about some topics from 1.2. See you for the next video.